A typical challenge you'll face as a business owner and client on Upwork is you'll meet freelancers and try to work with them, but you don't really know if their credentials check out or if they'll build an automation that will stand the test of time. Let me show you a typical case scenario of how things normally fail in workflow automations as a senior systems architect. What I found here basically is a simple n8n template, and I looked at it and it looks okay. I mean, it looks great. This is a Stripe invoice receipt system. So basically it checks on Stripe for paid invoices and automatically sends them to the recipient, the client, and records them onto a ledger and uploads the PDF file of the invoice onto a record keeping system like Google Drive. And that's the 3 steps you see here right at the end. The system looks okay, but if you examine it a little bit further, you'll find a lot of issues with it. So let's run it and see what I'm talking about. What happens here, it will fetch the invoices and run through a series of systems, checks if it's receipted based on what the Stripe field says, and completes the 3 critical steps right here. Fair and fine, right? But what happens when you run it again? You'll see it's doing the same process, looping through everything and working as normal. This is a critical failure in workflow automations. There are 5 things that every workflow automation should do, but I'll dwell on the 4th one and the 5th one. The 4th one is idempotency. Your workflow, your system simply put, should stay the same. No matter how many times you run it, no matter how many variations of inputs you give it, it should stay the same. And the 5th one, it should tell you exactly what went wrong. This is doing neither. But for the sake of demonstration, we'll focus on the 4th item, which is idempotency, the reliability of your system. I built an enhanced version of the same system here, and I'll just first of all clean up the records that we've created. What the new system does and what I've introduced is a separate ledger that acts as the universal source of truth of what invoices have been receipted and sent to the client and recorded and updated. So if any of the 3 legs of the system fails, the universal source of truth ledger should be updated, which is here on Airtable. That means you can't duplicate anything. You can't send an invoice twice to a client, even if it hasn't been recorded in a ledger or if the PDF has been updated. You have to investigate, and this is the error logging part, which we'll get into perhaps in a separate video. But for now, you just have to know that this system should only happen once. Every action should only happen once, and I'll show you how I've enhanced this system. It loops through each and every invoice once, and then checks against our ledger to see if the invoice has been receipted or not, and then comes back and processes the next one. Here we are on number 2. If you can see that, I'll zoom in. And then now it's checking the 3rd one, and you see it has completed on the 3rd one after checking if it's already been processed. Our ledger now contains 3 records, and this is how senior systems architects develop systems that stand the test of time. And this is a level above what you will commonly find with generic freelancers on Upwork. Your system should stand the test of time. I've said that like 3 times already, and that's to emphasize how important that is, because once you build something, how it is from the beginning as an architect is how it should be at the end. So if you have any common challenges with your workflow automations, I can enhance it and show you what went wrong and how to diagnose it and pinpoint failures and buttress the structural failures so that they don't happen again and affect your revenue. I'll handle the technical complexity and you can focus on generating revenue. Thank you for your time.